What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I have a beautiful guest today. I mean, I'm not sure if he's beautiful physically, but you know what I mean? He's a good guest. Let's get into this thing, baby!
Thank you for tuning in to the Matt Ramage Show, presented by Quick Trip.
What is up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
Beautiful, baby. Talking
How
about
about,
beautiful. What's up, beautiful? How you
dude?
doing?
I am feeling fantastic. How about that intro, bro? I keep
That
tweaking
is
a little
hot.
bit.
That's hot, man. That is
It's good.
truly hot.
But anyways, people, thank you for tuning in. We have the one and only Mr. Aaron Nagler. All right, this show, as always, presented by Quick Trip. Everyone knows. But I want to first of all, I want to talk about what I just watched. The Pax What She Said podcast. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
I actually did what's that called? The when you give money on YouTube.
Super chat. You
Super
you
chat.
you gave a super chat to
I have
Maggie and
never
Perry.
given a
Look at
super chat
you.
before, but I thought, hey, what you know, I actually
You're
love that
just
show.
showing love. You're showing support. Man,
Yeah,
we feel it. We
I
appreciate it.
I
Definitely.
I think
Maggie and Perry
I
are the
think they're good.
best.
Yeah,
They're the
Maggie and
best.
Perry.
They're the best.
They're the highlight of She Said TV.
I mean, there is zero doubt about that.
Yeah.
There is zero question. No doubt about it.
So we don't have a ton of time, so I want to get into it. But
Yeah.
first, before we do that, you are teaming up with Feeding Some Hungry.
Feeding America Eastern
Yeah,
Wisconsin. Thank
yeah,
you for
yeah,
mentioning it. Yes,
yeah.
100%. We've been plastering social and our website this week. Off to a great start. The campaign goes right through the Bears game. Obviously, the end of Sunday night there. Trying to own hunger in Eastern Wisconsin, much like Rogers owns the Bears.
Yeah.
You can literally just text if you got a phone on you, you can text the word cheesehead to the number 41444. That's 41444. Any amount. $1 is equivalent to 4 meals. That's the buying power that Feeding America provides. $1, 4 meals for a neighbor. And that's the other thing. A lot of people watching your program are undoubtedly in Wisconsin. People in your area, 1 in 8 in Wisconsin, are going hungry. You can help them. Just text Cheesehead to 41444 and give $1. That's all we need. And it helps incrementally, exponentially. Anything you can do is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I wish I would have known that before. I'd have made a banner. I'm not good at making banners on the
Dude, you're
go.
good. Man, you're
Yeah,
good. It's all good,
but
man. We're just here
text
talking Packers. It's
Cheesehead
all good.
to 41414
41444. And then whatever
41444.
amount you can do is greatly appreciated. Obviously, you can go to the website, cheeseheadtv.com. We have a post up where we have tons that you can buy merch. All the proceeds goes to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. We're all in this week trying to feed some folks here in the holiday season because God knows this is the time you want to give, you want to help your fellow man. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to share that on all my socials. I actually just saw that today, and I was like, "Dude, that's awesome!" I love that Cheesehead TV is doing that, helping people
And
use the
hey man,
platform
thanks
for
for
good.
asking about it. Thanks for getting the word out. Really, really
Yeah,
appreciate it because you didn't have to
yeah.
do that, and we
No,
really appreciate it.
but I think it's good. But anyways, we'll get into this thing. All right, people. I'm a little buzzed up, Aaron. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm getting there, brother. I'm getting there. Hey, what would it be? What would a Nagler Ramage conversation be if we weren't both a little buzzed up?
Yeah, you
It's
know what I'm
kind of
saying?
how do we communicate? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how we roll.
I remember having you on one time when I wasn't drinking, and then you were like, you were
Like,
like,
who the hell are
"What's
you?
going on?"
What is this?
Sounding
I
like
feel
Larry
you.
King over here. Uh,
I
so
remember
I was
that.
like, never again. I will never talk to Aaron Nagler
Never
again.
one time.
And actually, I appreciate it because I actually I just DM'd you like a half hour ago, and I was like, "Hey, you want to
Yeah,
jump on
man.
for a few?" Anyways,
Why
but
not? Let's do it.
let's talk about how much the Bears suck.
I
Uh,
mean, it's good that the internet is infinite because, you could go on and on and on with how much the Bears suck. I mean, they suck. I mean, they suck, man. How great is it? Like, there's all these reports that their coach is going to get fired. No, he's not going to get fired. Like, can you imagine living that existence? Could you imagine? You've
yeah,
literally just drafted a quarterback so your coach wouldn't get fired. Now he's about to get fired. It's hilarious.
yeah, because like it's funny because Bears fans, we've talked. I don't want to get all in it because that's kind of what we say every single time that we talk. We're
Right,
talking
right.
about the Bears.
Rip on
Is
other
that
teams, right?
yeah?
That's what we do.
But be like the Bears talk about like, oh, you guys lost in the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row. Like, bro, you would give your
Like you
soul,
wouldn't give your left nut to be in an NFC
dude.
Championship game, said Bears fan. Come
Yeah,
on. Give me a break.
that's what drives me nuts. And,
You had a great time
I
watching us in the NFC Championship game. Like,
yeah, like
awesome, dude.
their Super Bowl, like people talk about like the Vikings Super Bowl is beating the Packers. The Bears Super Bowl is watching the Packers lose the
Watching the
NFC
Packers. Right,
Championship game.
exactly. That's all they
But
got. And look. The Bears, let's get this out here because I know I did my Vikings rant on
yeah,
this here show.
and it was a great one,
I
by
think
the way.
last year.
I
And
replayed it.
you've replayed it, and I get tons of great interaction with Vikings fans off of it. So let me just say this about the Bears, and this is true, and I've always said this. I've said this going back years and years and years. Like, for as much as they suck, and they do, and always will, even if they, by some grace of God, end up winning another Super Bowl, we all know that's not going to happen. But if it does, even then, they still suck. They're the Bears. That's who they are. With all that said, I still have a deep, deep well of respect within myself for the Bears. Because without Papa Bear back in the day, the Packers don't survive.
Yep.
And that's a fact. And like Packers fans can try and parse it and try to make it into something. No. Without Papa Bear, now he loved the Packers because we traveled really well. Everyone drove down from Green Bay, filled up the bars, casino, whatever, blah, 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 and went to the Packers game. That he wanted to keep that gate receipt. So it wasn't like he was like
All
feeling
this
some kind
kindness
of
of
warm
his
way or
yeah.
anything. But without him, Packers don't survive. So always a shout out to Papa Bear, always a shout out to Hallis, and a deep respect for the Bears because even though they suck, they respect the rivalry. They respect the back and forth. And like they understand. Bears fans totally understand. Like there are a lot of Bears fans that hate me for good reason. I get it. But like there's a respect there in the sense of like the Bears and Packers going back 100 years. Fucking Vikings, give me a break. Like who cares? Honestly,
Dude,
who cares?
Dude,
about the Vikings?
yeah, because like the reason that I've got this question a lot.
Mhm.
Why you talk about the Vikings so much? And it's the engagement, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They're so easy.
I like it's low hanging fruit. Why not take it?
It is. If I
I
make
hear
a video troll and it's fun, it's not just that. I'm not being all
No,
fake.
no,
Like I'll just
I
talk
feel
about
you.
this because
I
but
mean,
like
that's a
Viking
big part
fans.
of it, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, Viking fans, like if I make a video about the Vikings, they come at me. Not this week. After Sunday, I made a
Oh, yeah.
video.
Oh, what do they got? What
No,
they got now?
Dude, they
What
were
do
like,
they got
they were
Jared Goff literally beat them with a throw.
yeah, they
What do
got
they got?
quiet. But like Bears fans, like when I've been trashing the Bears, like that's kind of how I became known
Yeah, but
on
they've
Packers
been beaten into
world.
submission. So to your
Yeah.
point, like the Vikings at least have hope. Like
Yeah.
even though, yeah, it's the Vikings and we know they're never going to win anything, they have a talented team, and I think Zimmer's a good coach, and I think they are much better than their record suggests this year.
Oh yeah.
So they
for sure.
have hope, right? They're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, we maybe could do something." The Bears, they know they suck. They know they're always going to suck. They know by some miracle, even if they win the division like they did a couple years ago and get to the playoffs, they're going to have some double doink. You know, they
Yeah.
just know they suck. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that Bears fans don't come at you the way Vikings fans do.
Yeah, but there's like a few Bears fans who I know on social media who we go back
Right.
and forth, but it's all fun and like we have a good time. Like
Sure.
you know, if the Bears would happen to beat the Packers, I would like take it just because it's them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right,
Well, 'cause you have to,
I've trashed
right?
you so many times.
Well, it's like week one when the Saints, like leading up to the Saints signed Trufant, the corner.
Yeah.
And I made a joke post about Trufant, whatever, Dufant, whatever. It doesn't matter who you bring in. Packers still going to drop 30 or win by 30 or something like that. And of course, the Packers scored 3 points. And the Saints, literally the Saints social media, like their Twitter
Oh
feed
yeah, I saw
came
that.
after me about it. And at that point, so of course that sicks all the Saints fans on me. And at that point, you're just like, okay, go. I absolutely deserve it.
Oh yeah,
100%.
that's what I say.
I don't fight back. I'm just like, yep, man, have at it. Because you deserve, like 100%, I deserve to be tarred and feathered.
Oh yeah,
in that fucking situation. No doubt.
because like when like on Instagram, like I haven't made as many videos this year, but like most years, which I
Right.
should get back to, is just making like Packers gonna beat the hell out of this team. You know
How
what I
are
mean?
you like?
It's-
I don't even know how you keep track of all your social. Like, dude, you're so like you have so much engagement on every platform. Like, I'm barely keeping up on Twitter, and I'm like getting tagged by you on Facebook. Then all of a sudden, there's an Instagram video. Then there's TikTok. Like, I don't, dude, you're all over the place. I can't.
Dude,
I have trouble enough like watching the games and understanding what the hell is going on. And then I turn around and Ramage has like 4 new social media posts up. I can't help it.
see,
I can't keep up.
your thing is like on Twitter, it's quality. And
Okay,
I'm just quantity
easy now.
everywhere.
Relax, relax.
I just lay it
I
out
got lots
everywhere.
of people, including my co-founder, who would disagree with that assessment, but I appreciate it.
No, but yeah, dude, I love talking trash. That is like what I do. That's like kind of how I started talking about the Packers. I was
Right?
just
Yeah,
trashing the
of
Bears,
course.
and now let's talk about this real quick because people
All right.
tell me that the Packers Bear rivalry isn't like a rivalry anymore because the Packers always win. And like
Well,
to
yeah.
me, like I get that point of view, but to me the Packer Bear rivalry isn't about winning and losing. It's about like when I was a kid, like my neighbor was a Bears
Oh,
fan,
dude.
like my best
Dude.
friend was a Bears fan. And like and the Bears were good, then the Packers weren't. So like my
Yeah.
parents wouldn't let him in the house on Sundays. Like Monday through Saturday, it was fair game. He'd come in, he could eat what he wanted, grab the food. I'd go to
That's
his house,
awesome.
the same thing. I could just, it was like we're part of these families. But on Sunday, they're like, no, he cannot come in. And Chuck, if you're watching, you remember this. But like
I
the
love it.
Packer Bear rivalry, to me, it isn't about winning and losing. It's about the history. Like,
But hey, first of all, bless your parents, because that's absolutely 1,000% the way it should be.
that
And
is how it
two,
should be.
Two, it is generational, right? Like, I totally feel that on Twitter or social in general. Like, you and I, we remember the fridge. We remember Walter Payton and sweetness and whatever. Like, we remember the Bears beating up on the Packers
Yes.
every freaking year. And then, lo and behold, along comes Favre and Rodgers, and now we've turned the tide, and that's great. But I'll never forget that feeling. I'll never forget the Bears kicking our ass every freaking year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to the idea of like it's not a rivalry, it will always be a rivalry in my book for
Oh,
that
yeah.
reason alone.
The same thing like with the Cowboys in the 90s. Like people talk
Yeah.
about like,
I hate the Cowboys.
yeah.
Hell, I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Bears at this point
Yeah,
because of the
because
way they
dude,
beat us up in the 90s. Of course.
and not only that, I remember them beating the Packers because that's just what it
It
was.
was
And the
always down in
Packers,
Dallas. It was awesome.
yeah, and the Packers to get that Super Bowl, they didn't even beat the Cowboys.
Well,
they
Favre
had
tells that great story, right? Of him and Deanne watching the game between the Cowboys and the Panthers, and she's literally cheering for the Cowboys because she wants them to beat the Cowboys in Lambeau. And Brett's like, "You don't have to play them. What are you doing?" Like, I mean, I think every Packers fan was. I was living in Carolina at the time, and I remember thinking the Panthers are really going to do this. Like, I really wanted the Cowboys for that reason. But yeah, no, man. Like every year going down there, butting your head against the Cowboys. They were like the Celtics for the Bucks in the 80s.
Yeah.
Remember the Bucks would always get to the playoffs and they would always lose to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference. Like that was the Cowboys. It was like inevitable. You'd meet the Cowboys and then they lose. And there was that horrible game where what's his name? One of the assistants like had his heads not cracked open, but like he like had a head injury because he got hit. There was a play on the sideline. The play had to stop for like 20 minutes or whatever. I mean, there were just so many horrible memories. Jurkovic getting hurt. I'll never forget him walking off the field, yelling at the Cowboys bench because he thought it was a dirty play. Like, there were so many bad memories down there. And I think that's why so many Packers fans wanted the Cowboys in Lambeau to exercise that demon. But you know what? Watching Brett and Reggie and company hoist the Lombardi, that made it all okay. No doubt.
Yeah, I remember like a video as a kid during that whole thing because one of my friends was a Cowboys fan back then, and so
You had all sorts of friends with other
I
team
did.
affiliations,
Yeah,
man.
I used to sleep at this dude's house, and he would like had a Cowboys jersey, and he was all. I think I might have won money on him at some point when the Packers finally beat the Cowboys. It was like $5 because we were poor.
Right.
But I remember
You
the
were kids,
Cowboys.
yeah.
I remember the Cowboys beating the Packers, and then the press conferences afterwards, and they're like, playing the Packers is like a practice, and like
Oh,
that hurt my
God.
soul. I was like, and
Did
then,
you? Let me ask you that. Did you watch like press conferences even back then, like when you were a kid?
Well, like on the news and like what they showed.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't really watch press conferences like now. Like I'll watch the highlights, but like
Right.
I'm like they ask. I don't know. I mean, not they because that's you. They ask wonderful questions.
No, they don't. They really don't.
So
I know. Dude, I'm
as a
sitting there on that Zoom. The worst part is I got to sit there on Zoom waiting to ask my question. I keep telling Jason, the head of PR, I'm like, can we get the Zoom questions like in the middle? Like ask a couple in the room and then have the Zoom session and then have the end. Like the fact that we have to wait, one means inevitably someone's going to ask what I wanted to ask, but in a really fucking horrible way
yeah.
that doesn't get the kind of that happened before Thanksgiving. I was going to ask a great question about LaFleur, if he like grew up with a turkey bowl, right? But someone asked, like, do you have any Thanksgiving traditions? And I was like, it was just bad. And then the other thing was like, you sit there and you have to wait and wait and wait and listen to some of the worst questions. So yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. Right.
Yeah,
there with you.
because I really don't watch. I know eventually you're gonna post what you asked, and that's all I need to hear. You know what I mean?
I do.
And,
Well, I only do. if I
there's
get a
other
good
ones, but you know.
I only if I get a good response. Like if someone like Aaron or Matt or whoever, sometimes they'll just punt and not give a great answer, or maybe I didn't ask a great question. That happens too. Then I don't post it. But if it's like I think engaging and they give an interesting answer, yeah, of course I'm going to post it, no doubt.
So let me ask you this: being a beat writer, being a guy in that room
All right,
that asks all the
relax,
questions.
relax.
No, but like being a guy who gets asked questions.
Right.
You've seen. I think you tweeted about it. The Bills.
Oh God,
The,
Jerry Sullivan last
yeah.
night after the Bills
The
lost.
question is said. They asked, "Are you embarrassed because the Patriots just ran the ball all day?"
See, now here's the thing: you say that, right? But that wasn't the question.
No,
The
what was the
question,
question?
this is where I took umbrage, is the idea that he said he hid behind, well, the rest of the nation is going to be talking tomorrow about how embarrassing it was and how soft you are. This is a dude who literally just sat and watched the game in a 70-degree press box, catered most likely, and then went down to the freaking PR area, the media auditorium, where they have in Buffalo, and intimated that the two dudes he was asking the question are soft, who just played in like negative temperatures, wind howling, blah, blah, blah.
All that.
Like, and you're going to ask if they're soft and hide behind the idea that the nation is going to. He literally said, the nation is going to be talking about this. Yes. Like Helen Nagler woke up this morning in Appleton, Wisconsin, called me and said, Aaron, can you believe how soft the Bills are? The nation doesn't care, dude. If you want to ask that question, it's a horrible question to begin with. But if you're going to ask it, freaking ask it.
Yeah. No,
the worst. That shit is the worst.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to swear. I know you're sponsored now, so I apologize.
No,
I
but
apologize to Quick Trip. Sorry.
I'm dying.
I'm on with Ramage, man. I gotta cut it up. You know.
Yeah, you gotta clean it up in just a little bit. No, but
Hey,
like I agree.
by the way, I'm gonna be in Wisconsin this weekend, and I'm gonna do nothing but frequent Quick Trip while I'm there.
All right,
So
and actually, I'm
my makeup.
gonna come down there. We're definitely gonna link up. No, because like I didn't like that question because then he said at like at the end after they were walking off, kind of like they're like, oh, in my day, people would answer that question.
Guess
like,
what, buddy? It ain't your day anymore.
Well,
Players don't need
like,
you.
Yeah.
Show some respect. That's all I ask.
That's the thing.
Show
is
some
like
respect.
Because I'm not anti-media. I'm not Corey Benke.
No, neither. I know Corey very much is. Corey hates the media. Yeah.
No, I actually don't like 50% of the media. Like, and it's not the local people.
I feel it.
It's like some of the outside
national people flying in and
anyway,
asking absurd
but like
questions.
I just thought that question is rude. Like, show some respect. Like,
look,
nice.
Look,
just be nice.
It's not even that. It's like you don't need to be nice. You don't even have to like avoid being rude because there are going to be some rude questions asked after a loss, right?
Yeah,
that's just the nature of the business. Just respect the guys you're asking the question of. Like, there are ways to ask about the fact that the Patriots clearly came into that game knowing they're just going to run the fucking ball and you're not going to be able to stop us. So why weren't you able to stop them? That's the question.
Yeah.
Like, or even pretend like you know something about football and say, So, Micah, on that long run, it looked like you overran it. Were you reading your keys wrong? Yo, there's a million ways you can ask about that game without like resorting to some talk radio nonsense. That's the stuff that drives me nuts.
Yeah, it is. But so the Packers play the Bears. I'm gonna let you get out of here in a quick second.
Yeah. Packers Bears is a game. Is it gonna be a game?
There's gonna be I don't know if I would actually call it a game. The Packers are gonna beat the hell out of the Bears. I know that you do your own stuff, so maybe you don't want to do a prediction quite yet. But like, let's just say ballpark. How many touchdowns are the Packers gonna beat the Bears by? Is there any chance that the Packers could have this game close?
Yes. There's there's always a chance. It's the NFL, man. Any given Sunday, you know this. You know what I'm going to say here, but the great equalizer is turnovers, right? Like you got to hold on to the ball. Like, look, we don't, we know we have Aaron Rodgers, who is one of the best ever at keeping the ball safe. But Randall Cobb, a guy who a lot of people were like, put him back on punt returns, literally turned the ball over against the Rams.
Yeah.
Those are mistakes those are things that keep teams in games if they're getting their beat down, so to speak. So is there a chance? Yes. And turnovers are the great kind of equalizer. Do I expect that to happen? No, but you never know. Cold night, December, first real blast of cold for a lot of these guys. Like, I don't know, man. Like, yes, the Packers should win by at least 2 touchdowns, but that's why they play the game, man. Don't take it for granted. As Matt always says, got to go 1-0 every week, and they got to go 1-0 on Sunday night.
Yeah, dude, that is like what I preach. Like when I'm talking to like my wife and my kids about football. Like
I have a great visual of you sitting up in front of the family Saturday night, like in your living room. Like, listen, kids, listen, honey. I know we're all going to try and go out and have a good time on Saturday night, but let me tell you something. Like, you're there preaching.
No, but what drives me nuts is like you say, turnovers and like easy like touchdowns.
It's
like
the equalizer,
NFC
man.
Championship game before half, like shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Like those plays, kick returns that are
big plays
for touchdowns
100%.
or to the 30.
There are 2 plays. Everyone remembers the Kevin King play, but there are 2 other plays. Aaron Jones fumbling deep in his own end. That gifted them field position and ultimately a touchdown. And 2, the missed interception right before the Kevin King play.
Yeah.
Right through his arms.
Dude, I was drunk, so I actually that was a little foggy for me.
That's my guy. That's my guy. That's what I love.
But no, that's the word. No gifts. No gifts. Like I hate gifts. I hate whether it's on offense or defense. If it's a fumble and they get the ball to
doesn't
15,
matter, man. Just
or
don't
if it's
hand
a
it to
defense.
I mean, that's it. I mean, you've just captured it right there. The only way the Bears win this game is if the Packers hand it to them.
Yeah,
that's it. That is literally the only way.
So are the this is the last question. I'll let you get out of this thing. The Packers going to be the number 1 seed, like the Cardinals. Like after you leave, I'm going to bring up the whole schedule because I'm a professional podcaster over here. but that is like the team. I think the Packers obviously have to worry about.
100%
is the Cardinals. Are they going to lose another game? The Packers got number 1 seed. Hopefully.
I think the Packers win out. I'm not so sure about the Cardinals, only because I haven't looked at their schedule. I know it is pretty favorable for the Cardinals. I think the Rams are our best hope, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But
that's the next
Rams playing the Cardinals. Man, what stinks is that it's at Arizona. They beat them in LA. But I will the sliver of hope here is they didn't have OBJ and Von Miller the last time around, and the Rams absolutely, you talk about handing it to them. The Rams turned that ball over, I think 3 times in that loss to the Cardinals earlier in this season. So if the Rams can just be efficient and hold on to the ball and not give it away, they've got a good shot. Now, Stafford obviously is playing hurt, and we saw how he gave it away against the Packers. I'm not holding my breath there. But if the Rams play a clean game, they've got a shot. No
and I think that it's backs against the wall type of thing. Like, this is our
question,
time.
Right?
Do they have a leader in that? Do they have a Charles Woodson, not player, just a speaker, someone to say, yo, this is
Rally
the time.
The
like, yo, let's get it together. At least until we play the Packers in the playoffs.
Well, you're right.
Then we can give
what's
it away.
Interesting, too, is, right, you spend all that money, you spend all those draft picks.
Yeah.
Do they have a leader?
I'm not sure they do. They have a
You
lot
know,
of
like Von
they have a
Miller
lot of
literally just
pieces.
got there. I guess it's Aaron Donald,
Oh
but is Aaron
yeah,
Donald the leader?
I would
Like, I don't
assume
know. You
he's
know,
probably he's the best player. He's a beast.
he's the
But
best
yeah,
player, no
but
doubt
yeah,
about it.
do they have that guy to like, or are they a
I
bunch
don't
of
know, man. He
individuals? You know what
certainly
I mean?
didn't seem to do it in Green Bay when they
No,
were there a couple weeks
no,
ago. So
he was choking people. He was too busy.
he was literally talking junk to Lucas freaking Patrick.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a dude who's just like a journeyman trying to do his job, and Aaron Donald's getting upset at Lucas Patrick,
Yeah.
really, dude, come on.
That was a
That's
fantastic
your
game.
leader. That's your leader, really.
Yeah.
All right, okay,
Anyways, I appreciate you two taking the time. All right.
absolutely, Matt.
She said
Anytime, buddy.
TV is feeding America. Give them that info one more time.
Please, 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 anything you can do. Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Text the word cheesehead to 41444. That's 41444. $1, just $1 provides 4 meals to a hungry family in Eastern Wisconsin. 1 in 8 people in Wisconsin are going hungry right now as we speak. So please do whatever you can. Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin, doing great work. We've partnered with them throughout the week, throughout the Bears game. Anything you can do, greatly appreciated.
I appreciate it, and then I'll actually post on my Facebook. I'll post it on all my stuff. The number, the
Please
text.
do,
That
man. That'd be
it's a
awesome.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I appreciate you joining me, Mr. Aaron Nagler. Everyone, give him a round of applause, like Pat
Yeah.
McAfee.
Virtual applause. Thanks, Matt. I'll talk to
I
you next
appre-
time, buddy. I'll see you this weekend.
yeah,
Without fail. That will
I will
happen.
be down there. I promise you
Awesome,
that.
dude.
All right.
Awesome. Can't wait.
So big shout out to Mr. Aaron Nagler joining the show, but we're not done yet, people. We are not done yet. All right. First of all, I'm gonna hit some of these comments. But whether you're listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching, if you missed that info, Feeding America by Cheesehead TV, you can go to cheeseheadtv.com. Otherwise, I will post it later on. And if I don't, if I lack that, message me because I definitely want to help out and help the cause. You know what I mean? Hey, check this out. Check this out. This is my first ever super chat. My first ever super chat. No one's ever sent me a super chat before. This is the first ever. Woo! What is up? Let's take a moment to just celebrate this. You know what I mean? All right. I appreciate the super chat. I really do. It's the first time. People on Facebook who don't know, on YouTube, you can give super chats, and that is a phenomenal thing. But yeah, it's I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So let's get to some of these comments real quick. Anything you guys want to jump in on, and then we're gonna I want to go through the Cardinals schedule. You know what I mean? Let's talk about some real football stuff. You know what I mean? Because the Cardinals are that team that are the team I think that the Packers are contending with. They already beat them once, right? Uh, the Cardinals have that one game edge. You know, I mean, we need the Cardinals to lose the game. The Packers got to win out. All those things. You know what I mean? So let's go through and check out what's going on, and hit me with the comments, and I'll jump back to the comments. Oh no, here it is. Text Cheesehead to 41444. Is that the right number? I hope that's the right number there, Brian, because I don't have a banner for it, but that's absolutely great that you threw that up there. Hopefully that's right. But let's check out what the Packers have going on over here, or the Cardinals have going on. The Cardinals are going up next. Monday Night Football. All right. That that is the right number. All right, Brian says. All right, so but let's check it out. All right, so Arizona Cardinals, Los Angeles Rams, Monday Night Football. That is going to be a really good game, first of all, and it actually is going to have a lot of meaning to the Packers. So I think this game is going to be fun to watch. And I'm obviously going to be rooting for the Rams in this game, this particular game. So like, I think the Rams are going to win that game. You know what I mean? I don't know if I really think that, but I think I think that game could go either way. You know what I mean? But let's check who else, and then they get the Lions. All right, they're not going to go full Minnesota Viking on you and lose to the Lions. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think. So let's check out. Anthony says, I think the Rams will beat the Cards on Monday night. Dude, I think that's anyone's game. I really do. I think that it could happen. I don't think it would be like insanity. the Rams get back on board, get their chips all in order. You know what I mean? I think it could happen. But then they got the Lions. They're not. The Lions are jacked up though. You know what I mean? The Lions are jacked up. They got themselves a win under their hat. You know what I mean? Maybe they come out swinging. I think they'll have another game before that, so they'll probably lose that one. But you know what I mean? So then after that, you know what I mean? We got the Colts. The Colts, we don't have the records on here, but the Colts have a good record. I watched some Colts action over there on NFL Red Zone the other day. You know what I mean? And Dan says the Colts could too. Maybe the Colts pull some out. You know what I mean? Maybe the Colts. I mean, the same thing with the Rams. Like the Colts are a good football team. Now, are they Cardinals good? You know what I mean? Maybe that's just the beard talking to me. You know what I mean? But but then we got the Cowboys coming up next. Week 17, Sunday. That's going to be a noon game, I assume, 11 a.m. Is that Michigan time? I don't know what time that is, but I'm assuming that's a noon game. All right. And Dan said, hey, Cowgirls might just do it. The Cowboys are a good football team. I think they're trash. I really do. I don't have any faith in the Cowboys, but they could win any game that presented to them besides the Green Bay Packers. So maybe the Cowboys. I'm not sure this Cardinals schedule is as easy as I additionally thought. Phil says scoreboard. You know what that says? Talking Packers with a smart person. Because I had Wes on the show, and Aaron Nagler. Aaron Nagler's a smart person too. You know what I mean? So let's look. Who do they got week 18? They got the Seattle Seahawks, who are sometimes not so good football. I'm trying to sell it, people. I really am. The Seahawks are not a good football team. They are a trash football team. Let's see what Brian said. Realistically, the Cardinals could lose the next 4 of 5. Dude, that would be fantastic. I would laugh so hard. You know what I mean? All right. Eric says if the Packers win out, I think they'll be the number 1 seed. Cards probably going to drop at least one. I actually believe that to my soul. If the Packers win out, they'll be the number 1 seed. Facebook user says the Colts, Cow Pukes, and Rams better beat the Cards. You know what I mean? So let's check out. So they got the Seahawks. Okay, and that's it. That's the end of the season. I don't know how long I thought this season was going to be, but yeah. So that is what it is. They got the Seahawks, they got the Cowboys, they got the Cardinals, they got the Lions, and the Rams. Not in that order. Actually, the opposite order. So these are some tough games. You got the Rams, tough. Lions, not tough. Colts could be tough. Cowboys should be tough. Seahawks, you know what I mean? The Seahawks sucked, but they can come to ball, every now and again. I mean, this season, but you know what I mean? Russell Wilson, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, that team could come to play at any time because they're not bad players, but they're definitely not a good football team. You know what I mean? But I fully believe the Packers are going to win this week by a lot. You know what I mean? Aaron Nagler was on. He was talking, he's trying to be nice to to you know, I which I agree. I respect the Bears fans, the rivalry, the whole thing. You know what I mean? I really do. I truly respect the Bears rivalry and the Packers and all those things. And the Bears are going to give the Packers their best go at it. But everybody in Chicago is getting fired, people. And the Packers are going to put the little stamp on it. You know what I mean? Put the stamp on that thing. You know what I mean? The Bears are a trash team this year. Everyone's getting fired. Aaron Rodgers, he announced his ownership of the Chicago Bears. In Chicago when the Packers beat up on the Bears over there. So I have no doubt that the Bears are going to be all riled up. You know what I mean? The players going to be riled up. Coaches going to be riled up. Everyone's going to be ready to go. They're going to want to come into Lambeau Field and show dominance and all that. It's just not going to happen, people. It's like me, trying to fight Mike Tyson. I could be jacked up as ever. And he could be asleep. It's still not going to happen, people. Like, he could be on no-dose. He could be comatose. And I could be all jacked up, fired up, ready to go. I'm not beating him because I'm just not good enough. And I'm not comparing myself to the Bears as, like, the Packers or Mike Tyson. That's kind of a stretch because that's a big stretch. But because the Bears are professional football teams, as far as I hear. But I just think the Packers are going to beat the Bears by at least 30. It might be 40. I have no faith. People are like, well, you can't look past the team. You know what I mean? week, game by game. The players have to go game by game, day by day, practice by practice, game by game. Not me. I'm drinking beer, people. You know what I mean? When on game day, I'm gonna probably be drinking beer. I might be down at Lambeau Field. Who knows where I'll be? But I know I won't be suiting up. I won't be doing anything athletic that day. You know what I mean? Unless someone chases me. Then I might be athletic. Maybe I say the wrong thing to a Bears fan. He starts chasing me down. I have to jump a fence or something. That's about all the athletic that I could possibly see me doing. But other than that, I'm be drinking beer wherever I'm at. You know what I mean? We're having a good time, people. We're having a good time. Let's check out some of the comments here. Dan says Bears are trash. Anthony says one game at a time. That's what I'm talking about, Anthony. One game at a time. But that's just for the players. That's for the coaches. That's for everybody living inside Lambeau Field. Everyone working inside Lambeau Field. It's one game at a time. Not for this guy. You know what I mean? I'm in basically an attic over here about 40 miles north of Green Bay. You know what I mean? And we're drinking beer. You know what I mean? We're drinking some Spotted Cow. We're having a good time. So I don't have to go one game at a time because I don't affect the game. You know what I mean? Gonna be there Sunday night. Can't wait. Shout out to Facebook user. All right. So here we go. Your Brian says Packers could get their second shutout of the year. That's what I'm talking about, Brian. Second shutout of the year. I forget about that sometimes. They shut out the Seahawks. So when I talk about the Seahawks possibly beating the Cardinals, but that is a rivalry game. You know what I mean? Seahawks and the Cardinals are a rivalry game. So even when one team sucks, you know how that goes. You know what I mean? The Vikings beat the Packers this year. That's what I'm talking about. Even though a team is trash and they suck and they're like the bottom of the league and they're just irrelevant to the NFC postseason, it's a rivalry game. So you never know what happens. That goes with Seahawks and the Cardinals. Also Packers, Vikings. You know what I mean? Uh, I take a shot at the Vikings every chance I get. I hate the Vikings. Bears still suck. Eric says Bears going to have to call the police after what the Packers do to them. You know what I mean? We're going out of this thing. Go Pack, go. What up, DJ? Brian says cheers. Hey, cheers, bro. We're having a good time tonight. Yeah, he says I'm WTF. I'm Facebook user. You got to put your name over there in the StreamYard thing to get your name on the thing. You know what I mean? He's having a few beers. We're having a good time. Packers 50, Bears 0 at halftime. I could deal with it, bro. What was that score? Like, what year was that when the Packers beat up on the Bears all in the first half? What was the score to that? Actually, before we get out of this thing, you know what I mean? I have a tweet here by someone that I want to bring up over here. Uh, let me get this thing. There's a funny tweet from PackersHistory.com. All right, I should have brought this thing up, but I didn't. He said, "In honor of Bears Week, here's a fun fact. If you went back and handed the Bears a 7-0 lead before every Packers-Bears matchup, the combined Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers era 60 games dating back to 1992, the Packers still would have outscored the Bears head-to-head in that era." You understand what that means? If you went back and handed the Bears a 7-0 lead before every Packers-Bear matchup in the combined Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers era, they still would have outscored the Bears head-to-head. Dude, you know how much of an ass whooping the Packers have put on the Bears over time? And, I grew up in the 80s, bro. I watched the Bears beat up on the Packers. It was embarrassing. It was hard to watch. People made fun of me at school. No, they didn't. Mostly were Packer fans at school. They had one Bear fan and no one talked to him. But you know what I mean? It was a thing going on over here. All right, Cooper's card says going to Lambeau for the first time versus the Vikings, flying from California, bro. You're gonna have a good time. That's gonna be a W for the Packers. You know what I mean? Anthony says 55-10. If I remember 2014 season because that was my first trip to Lambeau. Yeah, that was that that had to have been that crazy halftime score. You know what I mean? Yep. Other people are saying it. Sunday night, actually, it's for the same person. But anyways, we're having a good time. You know what I mean? Shout out YouTube checking in. Major ass whooping indeed, bro. I appreciate you censoring this is a clean show, people. But no wonder the Bears hate the Packers. Dude, I fully believe most Bears fans hate the Packers because of me. I fully believe that. But before we check out of this thing, I want to talk to y'all about this. Quick Trip. You can get this shirt for free. Go to quicktripmerch.com. Use promo code Matt. You spend $20, I think it is. And at checkout, you use promo code Matt and you can get a free shirt. You know what I mean? You can get a free shirt. So everyone check out quicktripmerch.com. Get yourself a free shirt. You spend, I believe it's $20. I think it's $20. And you can get a free shirt. Just use promo code Matt at the checkout. You're going to have a good time. And who doesn't want this shirt, bro? Who doesn't want? I haven't. I can't believe I haven't worn it yet. But it's cold. It's cold outside, so like I'm not really picking what shirt I use because I'm wearing hoodies every single day. It's like 0 degrees. It's like negative degrees. You know, like there's no degrees happening up in Wisconsin right now. But if you want this shirt, green and gold, green and yellow, whatever you want to call it, feels good too. You know what I mean? Go to quicktripmerch.com, make a $20 purchase, use promo code Matt at the checkout. You're gonna get yourself a free shirt. You're gonna have a good time. You know what I mean? You're going to have a good time. That's what we're doing over here. Love me some Quick Trip Glazers. Dude, tell me about it, bro. They're addictive. I don't know if they should even be legal. You know what I mean? This games feel like the game the Packers offense clicks and puts up 40 plus. See, that's the thing. Let's talk about this real quick before we head out this thing. Everyone's talking about Packers, Packers, Bears. This could be a trap game. First of all, the trap game thing, I just don't buy the trap game. I don't even know. I hear this phrase a lot. I don't buy the trap game thing. Like a team is good. I get it. Looking past and all those things. Packers ain't looking past the Bears. The Packers ain't looking past the Bears, and the Bears ain't looking past the Packers. There's no chance of that happening. This is a rivalry. People talk about it's not a rivalry no more because the Packers always win. This is a rivalry. The Bears hire coaches and say your job is to beat the Packers. You think when Matt LaFleur wasn't hired, there wasn't a meeting at some point and say, hey, we don't lose to the Bears. Keep that going. Like, whatever you do, this rivalry is real. I don't care what anyone tells you about who wins whatever. The Packers-Bear rivalry is real, bro. Like, the Packers don't ever want to lose to the Bears. And the Bears are sick of losing to the Packers. This rivalry is real as it gets. Dude, the Packers ain't taking this team lightly. They're at Lambeau Field. Dude, they're going all in. If I was the Packers head coach, I would be playing all the rivalry games. Walter Payton embarrassing the Packers. All these things. Mike Ditka talking that trash back in the 80s. All that stuff. I'll be playing all that stuff nonstop. Go out there and beat them down, bro. Beat the Bears down. Let them know that they're that little stepchild, bro. No offense to little stepchild. I'm a little stepchild. You know what I mean? But go out there and beat them down, bro. Let this NFC North know what's up. The Vikings are done. 5-7. Just lost to the Lions. They're done. Garbage. Trash. These Viking fans coming at me. It's over, bro. Stop talking to me. I'm done with you. I only talk to relevant fan bases. The Vikings are not relevant no more. Bears fans, only reason I'm talking to you is because we play you this week. After this week, it's done. I'm just kidding. Bears still suck. You know what I mean? Go buy a shirt, bro. We're having a good time. You know what I mean, people? Love the Packers as much as Quick Trip mac and cheese. That's what I'm talking about. Go get yourself some Quick Trip macaroni and cheese. All Bears fans live in the past because they got one ring. Dude, the thing with Bears fans, they really haven't been coming at me this year. Like, they know what it is. Viking fans come at me. It's not because they think that they have a shot. It's because they're just delusional. They don't have quit in them. And I respect that part about the Vikings fans. They don't have quit in them. You know what I mean? But the Packers the Packers run the North. All right, so the Bears and the Vikings, and, the Lions, you know what I mean? We'll just be nice to them. Like, hello, Skippy. You all right, little buddy. All right, we're not going to trash on the Vikings or the Lions. We're going to trash on the Vikings a lot. You know what I mean? Viking fans are just delusional. They think that, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have quit in them, which you got to respect, but at the same time, it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? The Vikings have a curse. I don't know if it's a curse, what it is, but the Vikings are a trash, horrible franchise as a whole. You know what I mean? And I'm not trashing Minnesota because people are like, why are you making fun of Minnesota? I know people who live in Minnesota, fine situation, fine state, whatever that is, city. No, Minneapolis is a city. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minnesota's a state. You know what I mean? I had a few beers with me, people. We're having a good time. Anyways, people, see you next time. We're gonna have a good time. Packers gonna win by 30, maybe 40 coming up this week. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate Aaron Nagler stopping by to talk some trash with me. And everyone check out cheeseheadtv.com and see how you can help out feeding America. You know what I mean? I think that's a great cause. I'm going to see if I can get in on that or at least share the links and do all the good things. You know what I mean? But Packers about to catch some dubs, baby. And the pregame before the Packers-Bears game, I'm going to try to go down. I think I'm going to go down to Titletown District. You know what I mean? We're going to hang out, do some little tailgate, maybe do some video stuff over there with Cheesehead TV. So everyone check out Cheesehead TV. You know what I mean? See you next time, people. Go Pack, go. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I missed some fingers here. You know what I mean? That's my side. That's the emoji I use the most. Go Pack, go. Bears still suck. Vikings are trash. We don't talk about that no more. And let's get out this thing.
Thank you for tuning in to the Matt Ramage Show, presented by Quick Trip.